Good morning, good morning. I think I'm live on Facebook. Certainly looks like it's doing something. And I know that I'm live also on Instagram. So here we go. Good morning, Kaylee. It is good morning, Glennie. It is a Tuesday at 11:30 Eastern Time, and that means it's time for First Chapter Fun. My name is Hannah Mary McKinnon, and I am delighted to be able to read a new book, a different book to you today. I see comments on Facebook coming in. This is working beautifully. I've jinxed it now and something will probably happen. Good morning, Hank. We have Rea as well. I'll be reading from her book. We have Julie. We have, oh my goodness, we have lots of people. We have Tracy. Lots of people already joining. It's so lovely to see you. How has your week been? Our 17-year-old son Leo yesterday took his driving test and passed. So I'm now happy because I don't have to drive him everywhere, but also terrified because he can drive everywhere. So I guess it's a case of being careful what you wish for. In any event, he passed his driving test, so freedom is his, I guess, providing we let him take the car. And it makes me feel a bit old. Anyway, how are you doing? I see Julie says good morning from sunny New Hampshire. It's very sunny here too. That's why I have the curtains closed behind me. Went out for a walk this morning. Guys, ladies, I started listening to this most incredible audio production called The Sandman by Neil Gaiman. And oh my brain is it's exploding. It's absolutely brilliant. Normally audiobooks don't have sound effects, right? That's really generally reserved for radio plays or podcasts and so forth. But this production, I found it on Audible, is just insane. It has sound effects, it has different actors, including James McAvoy, who's just mind-blowing. If you saw him in Split, just incredible skills. And it's just absolutely fascinating. And you know what? I get up earlier and earlier simply so I can get up and out. That's my new motto, up and out. So I get up and I get out because I need to listen to this book or this production. So if you like audiobooks and audiobook productions, check out The Sandman. Just as a something to do, but not now. Don't go and do it now, because this morning I am reading from Rea Frey's book called Until I Find You. And first of all, if I could get my iPad to work properly, look at that cover. Oh, doesn't that just give you the chills? That little stuffy and the little kid in the background. Oh, and also the premise is so exciting and just mind-blowing and mind-boggling. I'm really, really excited to introduce you to Rea and her book today. So, couple of housekeeping issues. Yes, Rea Frey. Yes. Rea just said it's pronounced Fry. I grew up in Switzerland and there's very lovely chocolate, delicious chocolate called, the manufacturer the name is Frey, F-R-E-Y, but I would pronounce it Frey. So, it's Fry, Rea, Fry. Must get that right or Rea's going to disown me. Couple of housekeeping issues. Rea is now watching. She is definitely on Instagram. I see her comments. Let me check Facebook as well. Either way, please do leave comments and interact with Rea. She's here, she's watching, she's listening, and I'm going to read her stuff. Don't want to let you down. So, of course, you can ask her questions, ask her about her process, ask her how she came up with this fantastic premise for the book. Ask her about the research that she did, which is absolutely fascinating. So yeah, you get to interact with the author of the book while I'm reading, or before or after. Word to the wise, the comments on Instagram, keep saying this, but they haven't changed it yet. When we post the video from Instagram story to our IGTV, all of the comments disappear. So if you have a burning question for Rea, pop it on Instagram by all means now, but just remember it will disappear, whereas on Facebook, it will last forever and stay forever. So you have two ways of interacting with Rea today. So hello Sylvia, hello Bono. We have lots and lots of people. We have Barbara from NC, Brad from Audio Shelf. Check out Audio Shelf too, but just not now. Write it down, do it later. You should listen to Evil Eye if you like Sandman. Ooh, I'm going to go and scribble that one down as well. Love audiobooks. We have Sylvia from Omaha. Wow, we have lots and lots of people. And Beth says, good morning from rainy Kansas, and it's only 60 degrees. Well, it's a lot warmer here up in Canada. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Kelsey. We have lots and lots of people joining. This is spectacular. So, last thing before I introduce you to Rea and her wonderful book. If the connection drops, if I get booted out by either platform, Facebook or Instagram, because I'm recording on both or broadcasting on both, please just go and get yourself a cup of coffee, go and get yourself a cup of tea, come back and I'll start the recording again. But hopefully both platforms will cooperate and won't cut me off mid-sentence. If that happens, it's not you, it's me, and I'll be back. All right, so let me show you this gorgeous cover again. Chilling and gorgeous and heart-wrenching and everything in between. Until I Find You by Rea Frey. There we go. So let me tell you a little bit about Rea. Rea is the author of 4 non-fiction books and 3 novels. Not Her Daughter, Because You're Mine, and Until I Find You. She's also the CEO and founder of Writeway, where aspiring writers become published authors. So if there are any budding authors out there, make sure you go and check that out, and I'll give you the website in a sec. Rea lives in Nashville with her husband and daughter, and when not promoting her novels or running her business, you'll find her homeschooling her daughter, spending time with her husband, travelling, exercising, or plotting her next great adventure. And you will find her on Facebook. The links are in the Facebook post, but also on Instagram, Rea Frey. That's REAFREY. On Twitter, she's Rea Frey _author, and of course her author website, reafrey.com and writewayco.com. Go and check those out, but not now, because I'm going to read to you. So, like I said, the premise for Until I Find You is mind-boggling. I don't know why I'm putting my glasses down. I need them to see. So let me tell you about the premise. And as always, of course, we read. I can't look at you with my reading glasses. As always, we read with the author's permission. So thank you, Rea, very much for letting us do this for you. And of course, her publisher, the excellent, wonderful St. Martin's Press. So here we go. This is the back cover copy, as we call it, of Until I Find You, which published on August 11th. So you can get your hands on it now. Not right now, but you know, when I'm done. Celebrated author Rea Frey brings you her most explosive, emotional, taut domestic drama yet about the powerful bond between mothers and children and how far one woman will go to bring her son home. Soon, Rebecca Gray won't be able to see. Diagnosed in her 20s with a degenerative eye disease, each day her world grows a little darker, a little dimmer. She's moved into the suburbs with her newborn son, Jackson, in tow. It should be a quieter, easier way of life. It won't be. When Becca wakes after fainting in the park one day, her first thought is to check on Jackson. She approaches the stroller, happy baby, sleeping peacefully inside. But he's not her son. There's nothing Beck won't do to find her infant son, but she's a blind woman in a world where seeing is believing. The police think she's confused. Her friends don't see any differences. Relying on the conviction of her instinct and the power of a mother's love, Beck must push to the limits of her world to uncover what happened to her baby boy and bring him home for good. Ah, it's giving me goosebumps, I tell you. I need to know, Rea, maybe you can add this in the comments, how you came up with the premise. Was this one of the lightning bolt premises that just kind of smacked you around the head? Or was it something that gradually came to you as you were thinking about it? I need to know, because it's such a strong premise with such a great hook. Now, Glennie just said that she lost me on Facebook, but I'm still seeing comments coming in and stuff is happening. So Glennie, I think that might be it. I think it might be you. It's not me. Oh, and Rea says, I kept having a recurring nightmare that I heard a baby crying. It wasn't my baby. Oh, blimey. One day I'll tell you guys about when we had twins and they would cry in stereo. Anyway, that's for another day. Today, let me read you the first chapter of Until I Find You by Rea Frey. Here we go. Chapter 1. Beck. Someone's coming. I push the stroller. My feet expertly navigate the familiar path toward the park without my cane. Footsteps advance behind me, the swish of fabric between hurried thighs, the clop of a shoe on a pavement, measured but gaining with every step. Blood whooshes through my ears, a distraction. One more block until the park's entrance. My world blots behind my sunglasses, smeared and dreamy. A few errant hairs whip across my face, my toe catches a crack, and my ankle painfully twists. No time to stop. My thighs burn. A few more steps. Finally, I make a sharp left into the park's entrance. Jackson's anklet jingles from the blistering pace. Hang on, sweet boy. Almost there. Almost. The relentless August sun sizzles in the sky, and I adjust my ball cap with a trembling hand. Uncertain, I stop and wait for either the rush of footsteps to pass or to approach and attack. Instead, nothing. I lick my dry lips and half turn, one hand still securely fastened on my son's stroller. Hello? The wind stalls. The hairs bristle on the back of my neck. My world goes unnaturally still until I choke on my own warped breath. I waver on the sidewalk and then lunge toward the entrance to Wilder. The stroller is my guide as I half walk, half jog, knowing precisely how many steps I must take to reach the other side of the gate. 20. My heart thumps, a manic metronome. Jackson squeals and kicks his foot. The bells again. 10. The footsteps echo in my ears. The stroller rams an obstacle in the way and flattens it. I swerve and cry out in surprise. 5. I reach the gate, hurtle through to a din of voices. Somewhere in the distance, a lawnmower stutters, then chugs to life. Safe. I slide toward the ground and drop my head between my knees. My ears prick for the stranger behind me, but all is lost. A plane roars overhead, probably heading for Chicago. Birds aggressively chirp as the sun continues to crisp my already pink shoulders. A car horn honks on the parallel street. Someone blows a whistle. My body shudders from the surge of adrenaline. I sit until I regain my composure, and then push to shaky legs. I check Jackson, dragging my hands over the length of his body, his strong little fingers, his plump thighs, and perpetually kicking feet, and blot my face with his spit-up blanket. Just when I think I'm safe, a hand encircles my wrist. Miss? I jerk back and suck a surprised breath. The hand drops. I'm sorry, a woman's voice says. I didn't mean to scare you. You dropped this. Something jingles and lands in my upturned palm. Jackson's anklet. I smooth my fingers over the bells. Thanks. I bend over the stroller, grip his smooth ankle and reattach them. I tickle the bottom of his foot, and he murmurs. Are the bells so you can hear him? The woman asks. Are you blind? Yes. I straighten. I am. That's cool. I've never seen that before. I assume she means the bells. I almost make a joke. Neither have I, but instead I smile. It's a little early for him to wear them, I explain. They're more for when he becomes mobile, but I want him to get used to them. That's smart. I'm not sure if she's waiting for me to say something else. Thanks again, I offer. No problem. Have a good day. She leaves. My hands clamp around the stroller's handle. Was she the one behind me? I stall at the gate and wonder if I should just go back home. I remind myself where I am, in one of the safest suburbs outside of Chicago, not in some sketchy place. I'm not being followed. It's fine. To prove it, I remove my cane, unfold it, and brace it on the path. I manoeuvre Jackson's stroller behind and sweep my cane in front, searching for more obstacles or unsuspecting feet. I weave toward Cottage Hill and pass the wedding garden, the Elmhurst Mansion and the Art Museum. Finally, I wind around the Arboretum. I leave the conservatory for last, pulling Jackson through colourful flower breeds, active butterflies and rows of green. My heart still betrays my calm exterior, but whoever was there is gone. I whisk my T-shirt from my body. Jackson babbles and then lets out a sharp cry. I adjust the brim of his stroller so his eyes aren't directly hit by the sun. I lower my baseball cap and head toward the playground. The rubber flooring shifts beneath my cane. The park is packed with last-minute, late summer activity. I do a lap around the playground and then angle my cane toward a bench to check for occupants. Once I confirm it's empty, I settle and park the stroller beside me. I keep my ears alert for Jess or Beth. I think about calling Crystal to join us, but then remember she has an interior design job today. I place my hand on Jackson's leg, the small jingle of his anklet a comfort. Suddenly, I'm overcome with hunger. I rummage in the diaper bag for a banana, peel it and reach again for Jackson, who's playing with his pacifier. He furiously sucks, then knocks it out of his mouth. He giggles every time I hand it back to him. I replay what just happened. If someone had attacked me, I wouldn't have been able to defend myself or identify the perpetrator. A shiver courses the length of my spine. Though Jackson is technically easy, healthy, no colic, a decent sleeper, this stage of life is not. Chris died a year ago. And though it's been 12 months since the accident, sometimes it feels like it's been 12 days. Suddenly, Jackson's life flashes before me, not the happy baby playing in his stroller, but the other parts. The first time he gets really sick. The first time he has to go to the emergency room and I'm all alone. The first time I don't know what to do when something's wrong. The first time he runs away from me in public and isn't wearing bells to alert me to his location. Will I be able to keep him safe, to protect him? I will the dark cloud away, but uneasiness pierces my skin like a warning. I fan my shirt, swallow, close my eyes behind my sunglasses and adjust my ball cap. The world shrinks. I try to swallow, but my throat constricts. I claw air. I can't breathe. I'm drowning. My heart's going to explode. I'm going to die. I lurch off the bench and walk a few paces, churning my arms toward my chest to produce air. I gasp, tell myself to breathe, tell myself to do something. When I think I'm going to faint, I exhale completely, then sip in a shallow breath. I veer toward a tree, fingers grasping, and reach its chalky bark. In, out, in, out. Breathe, Rebecca, breathe. Concerned whispers crescendo around me while I remember how to breathe. I mentally force my limbs to relax, soften my jaw, and count to 10. After a few toxic moments, I retrace my steps back to the bench. I just left my baby alone. Jackson's right foot twitches and jingles from the stroller, blissfully unaware that his mother just had a panic attack. I calm myself, but my heart continues to knock around my chest like a pinball. I open a bottle of water and lift it to my lips with trembling hands. I exhale and massage my chest. The footsteps, the panic attack, these recurring fears. Hey, lady, fancy meeting you here. Jess leans down and delivers a kiss to my cheek. Her scent, sweet like honey-crisp apples, does little to dissuade my terrified mood. Hi, sit. I rearrange my voice to neutral and move the diaper bag to make room. Jess positions her stroller beside mine. Beth sits next to her 3-month-old baby, Trevor, always in a ring sling or strapped to her chest. "How's the morning?" Beth asks. I tell them both about the footsteps and the woman who returned the bells, but conveniently leave out the part about the panic attack. Beth leans closer. "Scary. Who do you think was following you?" "I'm not sure," I say. "You should have called," Jess says. "I'm always happy to walk with you." "That's not exactly on your way." "Oh, please. I could use the extra exercise." I roll my eyes at her disparaging comment because Beth and I both know she loves her curves. "Anyway, it's sleep deprivation," Jess continues. "Makes you hallucinate. I remember when Baxter was Jackson's age and waking up every 2 hours, I literally thought I was going to lose my mind. I'd put things in odd places. I was even convinced Rob was cheating." I laugh. "Rob would never cheat on you." "Exactly my point." She turns to me. "Have you thought about hiring a nanny?" "Yeah," Beth adds, "especially with everything you've been through." My stomach clenches at those words. Everything you've been through. After Chris died, I moved in with my mother so she could essentially become Jackson's nanny. And then, just 2 months ago, she died too. Though her death wasn't a surprise due to her lifelong heart condition, no one is ever prepared to lose a parent. I can't afford it. Like I've said before, Rob and I are happy to pitch in. I lift my hand to stop her, and I appreciate it, I really do. But I'm not ready to have someone in my space, and when I'm just getting used to it being empty, I need to get comfortable taking care of Jackson on my own. "That makes sense," Beth assures me. "It does," Jess pats my thigh. "But you're not a martyr, okay? Everyone needs help." "I know." I adjust my sunglasses and rearrange my face to betray the real emotions I feel. "What's new with both of you?" "Can I vent for a second?" Beth asks. She situates closer to us on the bench. Thanks to the visual Jess supplied, I know Beth is blonde, petite and impossibly fit, and is perpetually in a state of crisis. She's practicing attachment parenting, which, in her mind, keeps her glued to her son 24 hours a day. I've never even held him. "Vent away," I say. "Okay," she drops her voice. "Like, I love this little guy, truly, but sometimes, when it's just the two of us in the house all day, I fantasize about just running away somewhere or going out to take a walk. I'd never do it, of course," she rushes to add, "but I just have this feeling like I'm never going to be alone again." "Nanny," Jess trills. "I'm telling you, quit this attachment parenting crap and get yourself a nanny. And if they're hot, she can even occupy your husband so you don't have to." I slap Jess's arm. "Don't say that. You'd be totally devastated if Rob ever did cheat." "Would I, though? One less thing I'd have to do at night," she mumbles. "That's not attachment parenting," I assure Beth. "That's how every new mum feels sometimes." Beth bounces Trevor, her voice vibrating. "But am I a terrible human? Are you both sitting there judging me?" "We don't have time to judge you," Jess jokes. "You never complain, Rebecca," Beth says. "Who? Me?" I ask. I complain." I imagine Beth and Jess giving each other a look. "You don't," Jess says, "ever, which makes 0 sense considering your husband and mother died and you're raising a baby all by yourself." I shrug. "I learned a long time ago that complaining doesn't change anything, so why bother? Complaining is my hobby," Beth says, "and I realise I don't have anything to complain about. I mean, not really." I roll my eyes. "Beth, you're allowed to feel however you want. Don't compare your life to mine for your own good." "But your baby's perfect," Beth whines. "If you ever want to trade, just let me know." I laugh. I'll let you know." I tune in and out as they gripe about their babies and husbands. I add in my 2 cents, wanting to tell them my deepest thoughts on the subject, but decide against it. Their voices come and go. My eyes flutter, closed, open, closed, open. And before I know it, I've accidentally fallen asleep. That's all I have to say. Wasn't that amazing? That is so cool. What a premise. Until I Find You. Hold on, let me get that. There we go. Until I Find You by Rea Frey. Such an interesting premise. I honestly, it gives shivers up and down my spine as I was reading this, because Hank and I practice, of course, our readings, and it's just it's so cool, so good, and I can't wait to find out what happens next. So many comments coming in, and I could see them out the corner of my eye, moving up and moving up. And of course, I want to engage with you during the reading, but I can't because I'm reading. But lots of you lots of Hank said flames. Ria says your voices are excellent. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. And I would imagine, yes, lots of comments about research. Ria says I did research and talked to many blind people, but don't have a regular vision impaired person in my life. I'd imagine the research for this must have been just incredible and very intense, and all of these things. And some of you know that my mum was in a wheelchair after she had an accident 3.5 years ago, and just through that experience I learned so much about quadriplegia and people in wheelchairs and nerve pain, that because I was obviously close to my mum, and it's when you're exposed to these kind of things that you start, it's very enlightening and very, very humbling as well when you're in that sphere. I would say not in the situation, but in that sphere. So I can only imagine, Ria, how much research you had to do for this book. So Until I Find You, let me show you that gorgeous cover again. Is out now. You can get your hands on it right now. Not right now, but in about 2 minutes when I wind this down. And then you're free to go and check it out at your nearest independent bookstore. Why not make their day? It was Independent Bookstore Day, or National Independent Bookstore Day, a few days ago after all. All right, so that was today's episode of First Chapter Fun, which I enjoyed immensely, and I hope you did too. Let me tell you about Thursday's read. Thursday, we have another powerhouse author, Ellie Griffiths, has won multiple awards, The Stranger Diaries. This is Thursday's read, another fascinating book, and I urge you to join us at 11:30. Also, actually, I'm going to update you on something that's going to be happening as of September 15th to prep you for it. We're going to move the time of First Chapter Fun. Don't panic. It will still be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but it will be at 12:30 p.m. instead of 11:30 a.m. in 2 weeks' time as of September 15th. They've moved the school time around. 2 of my kids won't be on the school bus anymore because they had courtesy seats. And because of COVID, they're only at school half days, but we don't know which days yet. And it's a bit of a kerfuffle. And the teachers are, of course, and the school boards are doing a great job and doing the best they very can with the situation that we are in. But that is the end result for First Chapter Fun. We'll be moving it by 1 hour to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, but not until September 15th. And we will tell you and pop up messages and posts and stuff to remind you, so you won't be sitting here at 11:30 thinking, where are Hank and Hannah? What is going on? So don't you worry, we've got you back. All right, so the books again today, Until I Find You by Rea Frey. Go pick that one up. And on Thursday, we'll be reading from The Stranger Diaries by Ellie Griffiths. So I hope you had fun today. I sure did. Thank you very much for joining and for watching, and we'll see you on Thursday, I hope. So until then, as always, please stay safe, stay kind, and we'll see you on Thursday. Thanks for watching.